How you doing, everyone? Today on Guitar Basics we're going to learn two different things. We're going to learn how to strum with a pick, and we're going to use our fingers, and how to pick and with our fingers. Okay? First we're going to move into strumming with a pick. Okay guys, so strumming with a pick, as we explained in the how to hold a guitar and how to hold a pick video, we want to hold our pick so there's about 1 centimeter showing. Okay? Now the biggest thing with people picking in general with a pick or without a pick is that they just pick too hard. If you've ever watched the movie The Mighty Ducks, when they were learning how to pass, they always said you have to be nice and soft, just like as if you're passing with an egg and you're going to break it. So the best way to pick is nice and soft. If you pick too hard, you're going to get that. If you pick nice and soft, you're going to get a nice, clean, soft sound. So picking with a pick, we just want to be a little bit like this. The majority of your actual strumming is going to be with your wrist. The additional movement up and down the strings is going to be with your forearm. So your forearm should just move a little bit and it should look a little bit like this. I'm just going to play a G chord and I'm just going to strum it. So as you can see, I'm not strumming too hard. If I strum that harder, it's not going to sound so good and it'll sound like this. Instead of so nice and slow. Okay? Now as we pick down, our pick will be on an angle upwards like this. We don't want to be down, we want to be up like this, so that it kind of hits the strings and then falls off to the next one almost. So up, and then we're going to move our wrist just slightly, so that when we come up, our pick is angled downwards. Okay? Like so. Okay? Now again, most of what we're doing is moving our wrist up and down. Just like in hockey, when you have to take a shot, a wrist shot, it's called a wrist shot because you twist your wrists. Okay? Alright, now we're going to get into picking without a pick. Okay, now picking with your fingers. What's going to happen here is it helps if your fingernails are actually a little bit longer, though it doesn't look so pleasant, but your thumb is going to be a pick, and regularly, this is how it works, your index finger's nail is going to be a pick as well. Now what's going to happen is you're going to hold your hand like this. Now when you strum down, your index finger nail is going to act as your pick. Now, if you don't use your nail and you end up wanting to use your thumb and just the butt of your thumb there, not your nail, you're going to get a really quiet sound. But what most people do, if they're finger picking, or finger strumming I should say, they're going to use their nail so that they get this sound. Now by holding your fingers like so, it gives you a natural angle. So when you're strumming down, your index finger is already on the downward angle, like so. And when you strum back up, you're going to twist your wrist again, but then your thumbnail is going to act as your pick on the way back up. This isn't used very often, but it's good to know if you can't find a pick, so that you can still play songs around your friends, around a campfire, or at a party. So really nice and slow. Again, I'm just on a G chord. Okay, and we'll try that one more time. Personally, I prefer using a pick, but like I said, it's good to know how to use your fingers when you absolutely have to. Okay guys? Now we're going to move on to back to a pick and how to actually pick individual strings. Okay guys, I switched up the angle a little bit so you can see how I'm going to pick. Now again, you can see I'm only holding the pick with about 1 centimeter stretched out, okay? Now I'm going to stick with that G chord, and all we're going to do is we're going to hit each individual string on the way down, and we're going to hit every one of them, all 6. So we're just going to go like this. Okay? Now the thing with picking is what brings speed in picking, and a lot of players won't start with this actually, is picking down and up consecutively. So the way I just did it was all down picking. Now if I want to get better at up and down picking, or down and up picking as it starts usually, we want to do every second string should be an up pick. So just like strumming, when we strum down or pick down, our pick is going to be slightly on an angle downward. When we pick up, it's going to be slightly on an angle downward, but facing more into the guitar. So it should sound like this, up and down picking. Now to understand the difference in speed, this will be all down picking. That's up and down. See how much quicker you can get? Now when we get into scales, up and down picking is crucial for speed and for clarity. So that's picking with a pick. Now we're going to move into picking with our fingers. Now just like before, when we were strumming with our fingers without a pick, a lot of players will start just using these 2 fingers. Now if you can try and get into the habit of starting with all your fingers or more than just 2, it's really beneficial because you'll develop the use of all your fingers as you grow as a guitar player, and this will really benefit you in the future. Okay? So again, I'm just going to stick on to this chord here, and I'm just going to pick each one of the strings with my thumb on the way down. Here we go. Now I'm going to pick with both fingers, but I'm going to pick the first 3 with my thumb, and then I'm going to pick from the bottom 3 from the bottom going back up, like so. Or you can go the first 2, and then the top 2, and then go back to the 3rd string with your thumb, and then go back to the 4th string with your finger, like this. Or you can use alternate picking on the way down, like we did with the picking up and down, or down and up. Again. Pretty simple, but it's going to take some practice to get the dexterity in your fingers so that they do what you want to do. Now if we incorporate 3 fingers, we can do things like this. Now the good thing about picking with your fingers is the more fingers you get involved, the faster you'll become, and the better you'll become with all your fingers. And then you can do things like this. This is a C chord, and I'm going to use all 3 fingers, and my thumb. I'm not going to use my pinky. As you can see, I'm just playing a C chord. I'm picking the root note with my thumb, then I'm using my 3 fingers in succession from my 3rd finger, 2nd finger, and 1st finger, and I'm using a finger for each string. So my 1st finger, or my thumb I should say in this case, will never touch the D string, and my finger number 1 will never touch the B string, okay? That's the thing, that's what gives you speed when you're picking with your fingers, is because you don't need to move around very much because each finger has a string assigned to it. So you don't need to move around very much. Another good practice is to practice going up and down, okay? It almost actually looks like a spider. Okay guys, now that's picking with a pick and without a pick, and strumming with a pick and without a pick. Thanks for watching guys, and good luck.